Hey everybody, it's Sean, and in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through a very basic setup of a gatefold, or what's called a roll fold brochure, or an accordion fold brochure as well. It all just depends on how they get folded, but this is a very basic setup. In another video, I'll show you another way to set this up that's a little bit more technical, but for now, let's just dive right into this. So what you can do is hit File, Document, New Document. And what I would like to create is a 16 by 8 horizontal document. So let's switch this over to inches. Width, this can be 16. Height, this can be 8. I do not need columns for this, so we can just hit 1. And everything else should be okay. We don't need to worry about a primary text frame right now. Bleed is fine. Slug we don't need to worry about, and margins are good. So let's hit create. And we know that brochures are a double-sided affair, so let's hit next page. See, I already kind of messed it up. Under document setup, you can change some parameters. So file, document setup. I don't want facing pages. I forgot to uncheck that, so we can go and uncheck that right now. Let's hit OK. And here we have the two sides of our brochure. So when you're designing a brochure, you need to think about how it folds, how it's going to be manipulated in someone's hand. And in this case, it's going to be a 4-panel brochure. So what I want to do is I want to break this document up into 4s, and I'm going to use my guides to do that. To make sure you have access to your guides, you want to hit Command R on the keyboard, or you can go up to View. There would be Show Rulers here if they weren't visible, or Hide Rulers if they are visible. And we can drag out some of our guides. So I'm going to drag out a guide, and I want it to sit at 4 inches exactly. And then the next guide, I want it to be 1 tick mark over at 3.875. And the next guide, I want to be equally distanced apart right there at 4.125. And so this will equal 1 panel. The middle marker is the actual fold of the brochure, and the markers on either side are a mock sort of margin. So what I want to do is copy, and I want to paste those guides, and I want to click and drag them out to the 8-inch mark. I want to paste them again, and I want to drag them out to the 12-inch mark. Now, this, one second, I just want to make sure I get it right on. Come on, I gotta be like that. Come on. Okay, that's gonna be close enough. So now we can see that we have our four markers, our 4 panels set up, so we know where to start placing our elements. What you could do is tediously sort of pull all of these grids and guides back out onto the other page, or we could just simply trash this one really quickly and click and drag this page icon down to the new page icon, and it will duplicate everything that's set on that page, which is wonderful. So when we look back at our example spread, you'll notice that I have these panels labeled. These are labeled in the order of sort of front to back. And if we were to actually fold this brochure, panel number 1 is the front, panel number 8 is the back. They fold into the middle. Number 2 and number 3 fold into the middle, creating panel 2 and panel 3. And then when those open up, you get the entire interior spread. So I'm just going to copy and paste these guys in here. If you wanted to, you could just create your text boxes and label these yourself. I personally always find it very useful to label my panels just because I can get a little confused if I haven't had to build a brochure in a while. We're all human, it happens to the best of us. And if you want to take it a step further, you could create a text box and actually call this front. And I'm just going to increase this guy up to 20 points so I can actually read it. And I'm going to call this back. There we go. And then I'm going to call this front interior left. There we go. Front interior right is going to be this guy. There we go. Lovely. And we can just quickly select all these, copy, bring them down to this page, paste in place using Command, Alt, Option, Shift, and V. And all of these can just be called interior spread. Command A, Command C to copy. And I'm just going to paste it into all of these text boxes. Oh, sorry, I sort of messed up on one here. Just delete that guy and paste that. Cool. So now we have all of our text boxes sort of labeled. What we can actually do is select all of them. We can dim their opacity if you'd like to maybe 50%. And same with these guys to about 50%. Cool. We can lock layer 1. We can actually quickly relabel it as I don't know, guides, or no. We'll call it, pamphlet. Pamphlet layout reminder. There we go. Cool. And so because we have reduced the opacity to 50%, while we're designing, we'll be able to see through this to the actual stuff that we're working on if you ever forget sort of what you're designing. The only drawback to this is now if you want to have elements that spread across page to page, it's going to be really tricky to have to actually build that, which is why I'm going to show you a much better technical way to approach this in another video. The other issue that you're going to run into here is in terms of formatting. If you want to center things within the panel, that's going to cause you a problem as well, but we're going to tackle it all in another way. I just thought, if you're a little intimidated by some of InDesign's formatting options, then maybe you might want to tackle this for a very simple pamphlet design. I'll catch you guys in the next video where we cover a more sophisticated approach to creating a gatefold pamphlet.